Well, finally got finally got it done. And it's just been a blast today to uh, wrap up this table project and actually put it to use. That's what I'm looking forward to showing here in the next few days. Some of the things I'm able to do now that I've got this mobile workbench uh, ready to go. It's come a long way. It is ugly, but practical and useful, and it is doing what I need it to do. Hey, I am really blessed and I am really grateful for the chance to do this and the chance to share it, and having safety in the process, and having fun, having a chance to learn, finding some really, really pretty wood in some of this scrap stuff, and also being able to use some super junk wood to turn it into this table that uh, yeah, I'm probably going to try to make something better someday, but there's always, I think, going to be a little soft place in my heart for this silly little thing. And thanks for taking time to watch and offering any thoughts or comments that you might have. Really appreciate all the subscribers, and really have enjoyed interacting with the folks that have dropped a comment here and there. Really appreciate it. I guess I'm saying again, I just really am enjoying this, and I'm glad I get to do it. This would be a good time to say it's Memorial Weekend, and Monday is going to be a day that is the chance to really be reminded of how blessed and grateful we are for, because of God putting in the heart of many, many people over the years to count their lives worth sacrificing for the sake of others. And yeah, I'm blessed and grateful. Well, uh, there's a passage in the book of Genesis. Uh, Somebody dealing with Joseph dishonestly, and he mentions to Pharaoh, "Today I am reminded of all my shortcomings. And right now, trying to get this table fitted up, I am seeing many, many shortcomings. But we're going to go ahead and glue it and fasten it down to this tabletop. And I'm going to put the bottom shelf on, glue it up, clamp it up, leave it for a little bit, work on some other things, and then hopefully get the planer out and work on some wood that I brought from the RV." So, thank you for bearing with me. I am messing up things right and left, but that doesn't mean I don't feel blessed and grateful. Even with some trimming of the sides and the ends, I think I've got plenty enough wood here from pallets to do the bottom at flush length and the top at 33 to 36, depending on how much wood I can get off the ends and have clean ends. 33 to 36 across the top, so, and a little bit of an overhang on each side, so there's clamping space and all of that. I think that's the way I'm going to go here. Crud wood, crud table, very useful if it all gets set up right. So I think I've got the wood, and now I got to get to work. Well, I think I'm set up to start making the tabletop and the shelf top for the rolling cart. And I've got some pallet wood that I've picked out. Going to try to cut it to approximate size, clean it up a little bit, run it through the table saw after running it on the miter saw to get the ends cleaned up. And then I'm going to see about piecing it together top and bottom. should be a good learning experience, if at least for me, if not anybody else. That went all right. It is not quite enough lip for a clamp, but when I rip down the sides and clean up the edges, actually it might just be flush with the table, and that's okay because you can clamp that way, and that might even be better. Okay, well, I'm going to do some ripping now, and let's clean up the edges, long edges of these boards. They're pretty smooth. I mean, pretty flat. Be nice to use the planer for the first time to get these boards at a uniform height. I may pull that out and try that. Good grief. The planer cleaned these up so nicely. Now I think I need to do a glue up instead of just putting them down individually on the table. Well, I've been needing to practice that too, so probably not a bad idea. I really want to get it so that the gaps are even all the way around. Well, I mean, even side to side and front to back. And so that means I probably need to do a glue up so I can do a final cut with a straight edge. And yeah, well, I sure do like the way it's turning out, though. I think this is going to be a very useful table, and I think that the planer is definitely going to fit on it, along with maybe some other stuff. So what do I have to be bugged about? I'm blessed and grateful. It's possible that I've made trouble for myself, but I have added a couple of boards and trimmed down some others to try and get them a little more square. And I went ahead and basically made them the length of the table, with a little bit of over on a couple of the boards, and I'm going to try to glue them up perfectly in line. Yeah, that's what I said. Let's see how it goes. It has been setting up for about 4 days, not by choice, just by the way my schedule worked out. Let's see what it looks like when we take the clamps off. That looks pretty good. I can see a little sanding will be useful. We're going to get the glue residue off and do a bit of sanding, and then I have decided to form fit this to the top and not have any overhang. More on that later, but for now, this is going to be fun to finish up. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Living the dream on Dead End Street. All right, doing a lot of second guessing here now. But I'm going to go ahead and just glue this thing up. Let's just do it. This glue up went pretty well. Of course, I chipped a little bit off and have to do some more gluing. And there's going to need to be some fine tuning here with some sanding. It doesn't matter that much, just kind of for practice. I got a couple of extra boards here, and okay, so I'm going to try and do the glue up tonight to let it sit overnight for the top of the rolling cart. This is the bottom shelf, although the distance is off a little bit. I'll figure that out later. But let's do the glue up for the top of the rolling cart. Thank you. There's always more to learn. I very, very, very carefully plane down these boards so that they would be the exact same width, and you just can't glue them up exactly right. So, or I can't anyway, at least not yet. So I got to decide if I'm worried about it being exactly flat or if it's going to take a lot of sanding to get that down. I do have an electric planer. I might try that. Well, lots of options. Let's see how the glue up did as far as holding things together well, though. Well, I've been looking for a good time to try out the Wen power saw that I got and have had for quite a while and have never used. So I'm going to use it on the table today. I'm going to get these edges cleaned up down to right at 33 inches side to side. All right. Not solid enough. Yeah, this is really rickety, but it's proving the point that I really need this table, so I have something I can work on. Try not to totally mess it up. Well, that's a nice straight cut. It's going to need some sanding. Maybe I'll round that off with a router, but nice and straight. Good start. Well, I tried to get this as flat as I could, and I honestly don't know if the base of the table is not exactly square. Very likely that's the case. Or if the wood was warped somewhat, or both. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and glue and screw it down and just try to get it tight. But I could shim it. Yeah, this is the next step, and then it's time to get the top on. And then this thing will be ready for the planer and other equipment, including hopefully the compressor. I'm looking forward to getting that out of storage way deep back there and getting it most of the time setting on the bottom shelf. Just in case there was ever any confusion about whether or not this was an educational channel, it's a can he actually make anything work channel. I would say is closer to the idea. And the case that evidence I want to provide to prove my point is my new table. Instead of showing you all the things that I messed up and all of the weird stuff I did that, supposedly was going to finish it up, here it is. The glue, some of the glue is still drying. I am going to try to smooth out the top a little bit more, but I've got a table and now I get to move stuff around on it. I may mess up the focus. I may still fill this in. I'm going to play with it a while and see if there's any benefit to not having that filled in. But there it is. That's my new table on Dead End Street. Well, here's the planer table. And the casters are working and the caster locks are working, and Cousin Carol says that the chips would be great mulch for the little garden back here. So we're going to spit stuff right out into the garden there. Really looking forward. There's some little tune-ups. I'll do some more sanding after the glue's completely dried and other stuff like that. But really enjoyed this, and it turned out well enough. It's going to work. I'm really glad. Hey, thanks for watching.